Yo, what's up? Welcome to another live. In this video, I'm going to talk about our only defense against AI. Now, in the last few days, I've been studying a lot about AI and what the new developments are and how people are using AI in content creation. And I'm going to tell you this. It's not good. The future is bleak for content creation when it comes to AI. Bleak, that is, for those who don't master AI and don't learn it. You're about to get replaced. It's just as simple as that, by people, a handful of people who have basically made out time to study AI, to get to know how to use it, to leverage it, and have realized that they can basically sit on their bum and get AI to churn out content pretty much indefinitely, almost immediately, forever. So, how are we going to defend ourselves against this onslaught of AI that is coming towards basically everything, right? But particularly, I'm talking about content creation today. So, whether you're an Instagram creator, TikTok creator, video creator on YouTube, etc., I'm going to talk about how we can defend ourselves against the oncoming, inevitable onslaught of AI content. But before I do that, I just want to do a quick overview of basically what's going on with the. Let me just fix the light a bit. What's going on with AI content at the moment? So, if you've been on YouTube for a while, you would probably know about the YouTube format that is auto-generated content. I think it's called YouTube automation. Is where they're mostly faceless and they usually have a team behind and they churn out content, right? So you have people who are creating the thumbnails, you have people who are creating the speech, as in the script, people who are doing the voiceovers, and some people do the animation, and sometimes you have an editor who puts it all together. And this team just churns out content, and it's usually built as a business, and it usually, includes a lot of experts. A very popular genre for this is cryptocurrencies. If you see those cryptocurrency content that just comes out, doesn't seem to have any particular presenter. So it's not like someone like me talking. It's just basically maybe B-rolls of people that you may know, celebrities, people in the financial world. Elon Musk is a popular one, Micah Saylor, etc. You see them talking, making random statements, and basically some narrator trying to tie them together into a coherent video. Or you might have seen some how-to content, right? Which I think is probably the most in danger rather, of AI. So you have, someone making a video about, say, how to transfer funds from your bank to the Coinbase wallet, or how to move Ethereum from MetaMask to a centralized exchange. And these videos are very, very useful actually because they solve specific problems. But all of them are generated, with faceless, churned out by faceless groups, right? And while those are super useful, there's coming a time where we're going to see a lot of these things coming out that are going to be auto-generated by AI. Now, I don't see anything wrong with AI solving problems. Like if you have AI videos showing you how to transfer funds from one exchange to the other, as long as the information is correct and it's helping people, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're going to see AI content come into the genre of vlogging, presentation of information, news, etc. Just AI generated content is going to absolutely dominate that. And because AI is going to be able to do that day in, day out, it's going to be, the internet is going to be awash with it. And it's coming to a time where the AI content is going to be so good that we're not going to be able to tell what's AI and what isn't. All right. Especially the way that we are trying to create content, right? So that's what this live stream is about. How do we then, in all that sort of cesspool of information, I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing to prepare myself for this time because it is coming, and the people that prepare for it, the people that get ready for the time and prepare for it are the ones that are going to survive. Everybody else is going to get wiped out. So let me give you an example. Right now, as it is, with tools that we have, such as Chatgpt and Midjourney, and there's some text to video stuff that's being experimented now, but they're still quite rudimentary and not very good. There's a lot of thumbnail generation AI. You can give them just a photo of yourself, and it can either just insert you into a template, or it can mimic your features and create some kind of caricature or avatar of yourself and put on that thumbnail, right? We have auto generate, you can type in, oh, I want a guy to be excited, angry, I want a woman who's happy with her arms up holding a bottle, something like this. So text to image is becoming a lot more popular, like Midjourney, and those can be used to create thumbnails on the fly. But some people are also working on, basically eliminating all the middle points, right? So that even the people who are giving the AI the prompts and, having to go to Canva and Photoshop and all that sort of stuff and having to do a voiceover by a different person, all of that is going to be wiped out by just AI doing the whole thing. So instead of having, the team leader and all the team members producing all the content, we're going to have just the one person and the AI doing all of that. So there's coming a time where you're going to be able to sit there, if you have access to it, and you're going to be able to say, AI, give me a video that is 10 minutes long of a man, or even specifically say of Elon Musk or of Donald Trump saying X and Y. I want him to be wearing a blue suit. I want him to talk about it for 5 minutes, then talk about this for 5 minutes. And I want this thumbnail to look like this and that. Just a prompt, a voice prompt that you can give to someone, and it'll churn out a video on the other end. So that's coming. And when that happens, and that's going to be auto-generated, that's going to be almost nearly immediate and effortless. So people who master how to do that now are going to be the ones that are on top. And they're going to create thousands and thousands and thousands of videos a day, which is going to completely drown out everybody else's content. So how do we fight back against this AI stuff? In my opinion, and from what I can see from TikTok and Instagram, all those things, is that human beings, when we're confronted with too much perfection and we're overloaded with digital stuff, we yearn for the natural stuff, okay? So in my opinion, the way that we're going to fight back against all this AI content is to do what AI can't do, which is to be as human as possible. So AI basically is going to mimic us perfectly. So it's going to do perfection, which is what people are trying to achieve now in their videos, right? When we make a video, we cut out the annoying stuff in the background, we cut out the breathing gaps in our speech. Some of us edit, we perfect the filters and stuff. The light is perfect, everything is great. To create, we create beautiful B-rolls and our voices and audio, everything's perfect. And AI is going to perfect that immediately, right? So the way that people are going to be able to tell that this video isn't AI is by our very human attributes, which is the tendency to make mistakes, the tendency to stutter when we speak, the imperfection in our faces, and all sorts of things, right? So the more human that we are, the better. Shout out to Walking Around the World. Thank you for the message. I'm happy it's resonating. But honestly, the more human we are, the more natural we are, the more we're going to stand out as non-AI. And I think that people are going to gravitate towards that moving forward. And I think that the more you start to prepare and basically put yourself out there and be as natural as possible, the better. Because when AI comes, we're not going to be able to compete with AI's perfection. We're not going to be able to compete with AI's frequency, especially if we have to edit videos, if we have to, do all the filter and the preparation and the perfect everything. Then, AI can do that at the click of a button, right? Without having to do anything, and it can churn it out continuously, right? Which is why myself on this channel, I've started to do a little bit more live streams, because I think live streams are kind of a way to embrace imperfection, because this is going out live. I can't edit it. I can't take out any of the coughs or the funny breathing stuff. It goes out, it goes out. It also saves me a lot of time in editing, because normally my videos are edited. I put all sort of things popping all over the place. I put music, etc. There are ways that you can actually do that live as well. I could have a music board and actually play like sound clips and things like that. But I think people don't care about that anymore, which is, again, why, I've just got a front-facing camera of my iPhone. I've got a weird LED light thing behind me to make the room less boring looking. And, off you go. And another benefit of doing live streams is, again, It's very, very low preparation time. And once you're streaming, it's going live. It's not filling up my phone, so I don't have to worry about my memory space on my phone. It's going directly up onto the internet. So you can do this with, you can buy a small Android phone for like 20,000 for like £20, like or $20 wherever you are, in a shop, and just use that. Make sure you don't have any SIM cards or anything on it, so that people don't call you, for instance, interrupt you while you're doing it. Also, because you don't require that much hard disk space on the device, it's just streaming up. As long as the camera is decent, that's fine. In fact, there's coming a time where the camera not being so good, the lighting not being so perfect, it's going to come to our advantage, because again, AI is going to master that. Until such a time, of course, that AI realizes that being authentic is what people want, and then AI starts to try to mimic our authenticity. But what AI won't be able to do is to interact with, well, not yet anyway, you never say never, to engage with the audience live, right? And interact in the same way a human being can. So our imperfections, ironically, the stuff that we've been trying to get rid of, the stuff that we've been trying to mask with all these things, filters and lights and whatever, those things are what's going to save us from AI. Like, even if you watch the movies like The Matrix and Terminator and things like that, that have the post singularity machines that have come to attack us, the way that the humans always win is to resort to analog ways, right? Even it was the series Battlestar Galactica. The only Battlestar ship that survived the onslaught of the Cylons was the one that never had any of the digital stuff installed, the one that still used the analog gears to fly the jet and stuff. And those are the ones that survived the attack. So the more human we are, the more analog we become, the more we're going to stand out. And I think people are going to rally around natural human creators against this ridiculous onslaught that is coming. And it is coming. I've been looking into it, and I've got to say, I don't know if I like what I see in terms of the technology, but I don't like what I see in terms of the pure soullessness of the stuff that's going to be churned out. I mean, a guy demonstrated how you could basically just sit there in your bedroom with your laptop and create a company creating content that's just meaningless for the purpose of getting clicks and getting advertising and just basically, watches and, getting people watch your content and making money. And we're going to get, and the robots, the AI is going to master the SEO, which means they're going to dominate the front page, with the exception of people like Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, people that you already know. AI is going to take up all the other spaces because they're going to master the way the algorithm works. Another thing that I was going to mention is, of course, Google and other companies have realized that this is a problem. And even they are going to push content that seem, or formats that are more likely to be human than AI. Like, already, a lot of these automation channels are being demonetized. A lot of there's a friend of mine who ran like one of those automation channels, was just churning out repetitive content, quotes from the Dalai Lama and Denzel Washington with music in the background, just repeatedly churning that stuff out. They got a message saying, well, this stuff is repetitive and spammy, so YouTube has removed monetization. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Even myself, I did an experiment on one of my channels where I just did I typed out a speech using, well, I didn't type it, I got Chatgpt to generate the speech. And then I took that speech and I put it into a text-to-speech generator on CapCut, which is actually really good. I think CapCut probably has one of the best AI speech generators and it's completely free. And I used it to generate the thing, and I put it on a B-roll that I found on Pexels. So you can download the videos on Pexels. And I did a whole sort of, hey, if you work out today and put one foot in front of the other, and I got like 6 views, man. And that's in a short. That's because I think the YouTube AI is now going around and checking. So it's like an AI against AI system. So AI recognizes AI. So Google AI can tell that, oh, that's ChatGPT, that's this and that. Who knows? There's some sort of signature that they leave in the audio that we can't detect, that perhaps they can algorithmically detect by, running some sort of code. And YouTube is doing that now because, they don't want their platform overrun by garbage content that is auto-generated and then it just becomes soulless, and then marketers start to withdraw, and it's going to attack their actual source of income, which is their main business, right? So I think companies like that are already, so already in California, there's someone that developed a Chatgpt detector, because you can imagine now in universities, a lot of students are doing their homeworks, assignments and stuff with Chatgpt. The other day I sat there and I said to Chatgpt, write me a PhD thesis about X and Y. It told me, oh, I can't, da, 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 da. But then when I said, oh, give me a chapter that is 4,000 words long about this subject, it spat it out, no problem. So what's to stop me from, getting him to create the outline and then getting him to do each chapter by chapter, and then I can just fetch the images. There's a lot now that people can do, let alone in college, in high schools, where you can basically get ChatGPT to do your assignment in 5 seconds. So people are looking for ways to detect AI, and the way to do that would be to try and pick out the analog in the content that's being generated, right? So, you can tell I'm human because, again, I've made a whole bunch of mistakes. AI, would create a better face than this. Probably won't. I don't know. Maybe AI will get so good and start to insert a bit of imperfection in images that it generates. I don't know if you've seen those books that are now on KDP on Amazon. If you go to Amazon right after this and look at the children's storybook section, and it's just full of AI content, right? A lot of you can tell it's AI because the covers are generated by these sort of Midjourney sort of AI looking stuff, and don't buy them. But if you they're quite cheap. Usually they're like $1, $2. You buy them, you look inside, and it's just ChatGPT stuff. And people have jumped on this. Obviously, Amazon is probably doing something to scan their archives, trying to detect these things, but it's going to take time. And again, the way that they're going to do this as well is they're going to try and detect the analog, the humanity in the content, right? Because again, ChatGPT and AI are based on perfection, right? But we are so diverse and so complex that we have quirks that make us human. And that quirk, or those quirks rather, is what we need to embrace to win against AI, especially in content creation on YouTube, for instance. Which is why I'm going to be live streaming more regularly, because the more I do it, the better I get, just like you should be doing it too. And the better we get, the more we're going to be able to compete with ChatGPT and CapCut generated auto speech, auto garbage. I'll see you in the next stream. Take care of yourself. Peace.